Hello, welcome to this channel. It is with great joy that I come to bring you this very important information. Today we are going to talk about 5 factors that will help you to make your dog obey you. Let's go.
Number 1. Training. Consistency in training is a key factor in your dog's obedience. When you're training your dog, it's important to keep in mind that the goal is to teach him to obey specific commands in any given situation. To achieve this goal, it is essential to be consistent in giving commands and rewarding your dog for positive behaviors. This means that you must use the same commands in all situations, avoiding frequent changes in training routines. For example, if you are teaching your dog to sit, use the same word for the command every time you want him to do that action. Do not use sit one hour and down the next, as this can confuse your dog and delay training. Furthermore, consistency in training also applies to reward. Your dog should be rewarded every time it obeys a command, regardless of the situation it is in. This means that you should stick to the same reward routine at home, at the park, or wherever else you are training your dog. By maintaining consistency in training, you help your dog understand what is expected of him, and he will learn to associate correct behavior with a positive experience. Over time, this will help strengthen the bond between you and your dog and increase his obedience. Number 2. Positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is one of the most effective training methods for increasing your dog's obedience. This method involves using rewards such as praise, toys and treats to encourage the desired behavior and positively reinforce it. When your dog obeys a command, it's important that you immediately reward him with a reward that he values. This will help strengthen the connection between the desired behavior and the reward, encouraging your dog to repeat the behavior in the future. For example, if you are teaching your dog to sit, immediately reward him with a treat or praise as soon as he sits correctly. However, it is important to keep in mind that positive reinforcement should be used carefully and sparingly. Excessive rewards can make your dog overly dependent on rewards and less likely to obey commands without them. Therefore, it is important to vary the frequency and types of rewards so that your dog knows that he can be rewarded in many different ways. Furthermore, the proper use of rewards can also help prevent unwanted behaviors such as excessive barking or chewing on objects. Instead of punishing these behaviors, try to redirect them towards a desired behavior and reward your dog for complying with this behavior. In summary, positive reinforcement is an effective training technique that helps increase your dog's obedience by encouraging desired behaviors and preventing unwanted behaviors. Consistent, moderate use of rewards can help strengthen the bond between you and your dog, and increase your dog's trust and obedience. Number 3. Clear communication. Establishing clear and consistent communication with your dog is essential to increasing his obedience. This involves using visual and verbal cues to clearly communicate what is expected of your dog and how he should respond to those expectations. When teaching your dog a new command, it is important to choose a clear and consistent visual and verbal signal. For example, for the sit command, you could choose a word such as sit and a hand gesture that indicates your dog should sit. Use these signals consistently whenever you give the sit command, and repeat them frequently so your dog can associate the command with the desired action. In addition, it is important to use clear and coherent body language to communicate with your dog. When giving a command, make sure you are in a position that clearly shows what you expect from your dog. For example, if you want him to sit down, get into a position that clearly shows you want him to sit down. Another way to establish clear communication with your dog is through tone of voice. Use a firm, confident tone of voice when giving commands so your dog knows you are in charge. Avoid yelling or getting excited, as this can confuse your dog and make training difficult. Finally, remember that patience and practice are key to establishing clear communication with your dog. Train frequently and be consistent with giving commands and signals so your dog can learn to obey and respond appropriately. With time and practice, you will be able to develop clear and effective communication with your dog, increasing his obedience and strengthening the bond between you. Number 4. Exercise and mental stimulation. Proper physical exercise is an important part of your puppy's training and can help increase his obedience. Dogs need daily exercise to maintain good physical and mental health, and this can also help reduce unwanted behaviors such as excessive barking, chewing and destroying objects. Before starting an exercise program with your dog, it's important to consider its age, size, breed, and activity level. Active breed dogs like the Border Collie or Labrador Retriever require more exercise than more sedentary breeds like the English Bulldog. Your veterinarian can help determine the amount and type of exercise that is right for your dog. There are many ways to exercise your dog, such as walking, running, playing ball or practicing dog sports such as agility. It's important to vary the type and intensity of exercise to keep your dog interested and involved. Remember that dogs also need time to explore and smell their surroundings, so allow them time to sniff and explore during walks. In addition to increasing obedience, proper exercise can also help improve your puppy's mood and behavior. Dogs that get enough exercise are generally calmer and quieter around the house, which can reduce destructive behavior. Finally, remember that adequate physical exercise must be combined with a balanced diet and proper veterinary care. Make sure your dog is getting the right amount of food, water, and supplements it needs for its age, size, and activity level, and take it to the vet regularly for routine checkups and preventative care. In summary, proper exercise is an important part of your dog's training and can help increase its obedience. Make sure you choose the right type and intensity of exercise for your dog, and combine this with a balanced diet and proper veterinary care. With time and practice, you can help improve your dog's physical and mental health, as well as his obedience. Number 5. Quiet leadership. Consistency is key when it comes to dog obedience training. In order for your dog to learn to follow your orders, it's important to be consistent with your commands, expectations and rewards. Start by clearly defining which behaviors you want your dog to follow and which you don't. For example, if you don't want your dog to climb on the sofa, you must be consistent in not allowing him to do so. If you allow him to get on the couch once, he may think it's okay and keep trying in the future. Once you've set your expectations, it's important to use consistent commands to help your dog understand what's expected of him. Make sure you use the same command for the same behavior every time. For example, if you want your dog to sit, use the same word or hand signal every time you ask him to sit. Another important aspect of consistency is reward. Be consistent in rewarding your dog whenever he follows your command correctly. Use the same reward each time, such as verbal praise, petting or treats, so your dog knows what to expect and is motivated to follow your commands. It's also important to be consistent in your consequences when your dog doesn't follow your commands. Be clear and firm in your corrections, but never use violence or physical punishment, as this can damage the relationship between you and your dog. Instead, use non-violent corrections, such as a firm verbal correction or a brief timeout. Finally, remember to be patient and consistent in your training efforts. Dog training takes time and practice, and there may be setbacks along the way. Be persistent and consistent in your expectations, commands and rewards, and your dog will eventually learn to follow your orders and be more obedient. In short, consistency is key to dog obedience training. Clearly define your expectations, use consistent commands, reward your dog when he follows your commands, and be consistent with your consequences when he doesn't. Be patient and persistent in your training efforts, and your dog will become more obedient with time and practice.
Thank you for getting here. I hope I have helped in some way. If you liked it, like it and subscribe to the channel, so you will be the first to have new important information about dogs. I hope you are well and have a great day.